What is going on, everybody? It is Persuade, and welcome to another video on my channel. Today we are on a website, bballgm.com, and we are going to be redrafting the 2012 lottery. So this was the year, of course, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Andre Drummond were drafted. And so we're going to redraft it as I think teams now would do. So hopefully that makes sense. So before I get into this, let me just say that the picks are going to be obviously my choice. If you guys disagree with it, let me know. I would like to hear that. But these are just my personal opinions on who I think would have been picked. So with the first pick in the 2012 draft, the Pelicans selected Anthony Davis. And let's just be honest here, that's not going to change. Anthony Davis is a phenomenal basketball player. He's a superstar for that team, and I think they would not change their pick if given the chance. So with the first pick, I think they still take Anthony Davis. Confirmed selection. Now with the second pick, the Charlotte Bobcats at the time selected Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Now, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, a good defender, not real great on the offensive end, but he's a good defender. He's had a lot of injury trouble the past couple of years, but he's a good player. Now, that being said, I don't think the Bobcats would take him, knowing the stars that are being drafted later in this draft. And you already see two of them right here, Damian Lillard and Andre Drummond. Now, personally, for them, I'm going to go with Damian Lillard. Lillard is another great basketball player, one of the better guards in the NBA today. For some reason, they say he's a two-time All-Star, but he's never made the All-Star team. I don't know how that works. He's been snubbed twice. But Damian Lillard, he's a great player. One of my favorite players in the NBA. Actually, probably is my favorite player in the NBA. I think the Charlotte Bobcats would take Damian Lillard with the second pick if given the choice. Now, with the third pick, the Washington Wizards selected Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, another solid player for them. He is a double-digit scorer. While he's a good player, I don't think the Wizards would take him because there's another good player that you saw just a minute ago. Right here. Andre Drummond. I think that's who they would take. Drummond is a rising star in this league. He's a very good big man. And I think Andre Drummond is going to be the new third pick in this year's draft. So there it is. With the fourth pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers selected Dion Waiters. And Dion Waiters, he has his moments where he's pretty good. Now with the Oklahoma City Thunder, he has his moments where he's good. But I don't think they would take him. Looking at this list here, there's a name that everybody sees that I think the Cavs would have to take. And that'd be this guy right here, Draymond Green. The guy who knows every single player that was drafted before him. One of the most solid NBA players. One of the very, very good all-around basketball player. Couldn't help his team last night, but, that's another issue. So Draymond Green going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. How ironic is that? That Draymond Green going to the Cavs and probably playing with LeBron. So with the fifth pick, the Sacramento Kings selected Thomas Robinson. Now, Thomas Robinson, he was one of my favorite players when he was at Kansas. I'm a KU fan. I have been all my life. Thomas Robinson, one of my favorite players while he was there. Now, he hasn't exactly panned out in the NBA, so I don't think they would select him. Now, there aren't too many good options, like obvious options left on the board. There's a couple solid NBA players still here. But personally, for them, I'm going to go ahead and go with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is again, as I said earlier, very good player. Don't know if he was worthy of the 3 pick. He's certainly worthy of this pick right here because I don't think there's very many better players on the board. So with the 5th pick, I think the Sacramento Kings select Bradley Beal. Now with the 6th pick, the Portland Trailblazers selected Damian Lillard. Of course, Damian Lillard is no longer on the board in this draft, so we have to pick somebody else. Now again, not a whole lot of obvious options left on the board. And I think we're going to go down here. And I think we're going to select Jay Crowder for the Blazers because Crowder, he's turning into a pretty nice player. All around offensive and defensive minded player. I think he could do well in the Blazers scheme. I'm going to go with Jay Crowder here with pick number 6 for the Blazers. Now, pick number 7, the Golden State Warriors selected Harrison Barnes out of North Carolina. Harrison Barnes, important part of their team to this day. And honestly, I'm thinking that's who they're going to take. Harrison Barnes, as I just said a second ago, very important part of their team. And I don't think there's many better options on the board. So Harrison Barnes gets to stay right where he's at number 7. At pick number 8, the Toronto Raptors selected Terrence Ross out of Washington with that pick. Terrence Ross, high-flying athlete. He's won the dunk contest once or twice. I don't know how many times, but he's a very, very good player. Now, in terms of performance, probably not the player that the Raptors would have selected if given a second chance. Now, the player who I'm going to select for them is going to be Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Again, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, he's a good player. I don't think was worthy of the second pick by the way he's performed so far in the NBA. So we're going to go with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist at pick number 8. There it is, confirming selection. So pick number 9, the Detroit Pistons selected Andre Drummond. Obviously, Andre Drummond is not on the board at this point, so we got to go with somebody else. Personally, for them, Royce White. Yeah, Royce White panned out really well in the NBA. Looking at the list here, I see a couple names that are very, very solid NBA players. This is kind of a hard decision to make because it's just kind of my judgment on which player I think would be next. I honestly would take Chris Middleton. And that's who I'm going to take here. I know that's probably going to be a questionable pick, but I think Middleton's turned into a nice all-around player. He's doing pretty well for the Bucks, so I'm going to go with him at pick number 9. At pick number 10, the New Orleans Pelicans, again, selected Austin Rivers out of Duke University. And Austin Rivers, he's a good player. Probably wouldn't be selected at number 10 again if given the opportunity. So looking again at the board, again, not an easy decision here because there's a lot of solid NBA players here, but there's no obvious choice for this one. I personally am going to go with Dion Waiters. I think Waiters is a decent player in the NBA. And yeah, I'm not going to say much more about that, so I'm going to go with Dion Waiters at number 10 to the New Orleans Pelicans. At pick number 11, the Portland Trailblazers selected Myers Leonard out of Illinois. He's a good shooter. He's a big body. It's 7'1". That's about it. I would not select Myers Leonard again. I don't think they would either. Personally, looking at this list, there's one name that I saw on here that I think I am absolutely going to take here, and that is Mr. Festus Ezeli. He's a good player, solid player in that Golden State Warriors rotation. Going to go ahead and select Festus Ezeli here at number 11. Now, number 12, the Houston Rockets selected Jeremy Lamb out of UConn. With that selection, he was then dealt in the James Harden deal. So I guess it kind of worked out for them. Lamb looks like he's starting to find a role with the Charlotte Hornets, but at this time, probably not worthy of the 12th selection. So with this pick, I think I'm actually gonna go with Evan Fournier. Guy's a good shooter. Just pretty good offensive player for the Orlando Magic these days. So I'm going to go with Evan Fournier here at number 12. All right, at pick number 13, the Phoenix Suns selected Kendall Marshall out of North Carolina. A guy who hasn't really found a home yet in the NBA. He's bounced around to several different teams. I believe he played for the Sixers this year, if I am correct. I don't think he would go at number 13. Again, looking at this list here, I am probably going to go with... I didn't plan for this before. No, I'm going to go with Terrence Ross here. Terrence Ross, while he wasn't worthy of that 8th pick that the Toronto Raptors gave him, I think he's still a lottery player with the players that are on the board here. I'm going to go Terrence Ross at pick number 13. And the final pick of the lottery, the Milwaukee Bucks with the 14th pick selected John Henson out of UNC. He's a good player. They've given him a massive contract, so, you know, there's that. I don't know if he's worthy of this pick. So let's see what we can get for him. Or what we can get instead of him, sorry. Personally, you know what? We'll go with Thomas Robinson. I mean, the talent is certainly there. He actually showed promise this year with the Brooklyn Nets. And so I think he's going to be the final selection in the lottery for the Milwaukee Bucks. So there is the 2012 redo of the NBA Draft Lottery. Let me know what you guys think of my picks. Let me know if there's anything that you would have chosen differently or that I made a mistake or something like that. Just let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time.